Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I am your host, Shantae Grant, and today, if you're listening in real time, is the final Monday in 2021. And just like that, we've taken a trip through the 12 months of the year. Now, if you're listening to this at any other point in time, it's still a relevant episode. Please keep listening. I've got something for you in this episode. So, at the top of this year, January 2021, I reminded you what not to do just because it's January. I'll link to that episode in the show notes to this week's episode, which can be found at besttodayguide.com/43. We started out this year with the Best Today or the Business Life and Joy podcast and transitioned that podcast to what you have now, which is the Best Today podcast, to more align with the changes that I've made in my business and my company. And it has been a ride because here we are at 43 episodes into the Best Today podcast. And today I want to focus on the only time that I will remind you or recommend to you to look back, right? I've talked about this before in other podcasts, but the only time we're really going to look back is to retrieve data and information. So, information that we can do something with. And so that's what we're going to do a little bit today. I've created a download for you. So if you want to print that out while you listen to the episode, or print it out after the episode, it's going to be available to you. I'm going to walk through it today. And what I'm going to talk about in this episode is everything's going to be included in that download. It will help you to listen to this episode before you try to do the work on the download, but it's for free for you. And I'm going to link to it in today's show notes, which can be found at besttodayguide.com/43. So we're going to look back, right, on 2021, or whenever you're listening to this, you're going to look back on whenever it's relevant for you. And we're going to look back just for information and data that we can use as information as we plan and proceed. So if you don't like some of the data and the information, excellent. Now you have something to work on. That information tells us that something matters to you and there's something that you can do about it. So my mission is to help you get clear on who you are and what you want so that your time can best reflect that. And the methods we use to get there are planning and routine. So our review is going to focus on the lens of our 4 principles: proaction, intentionality, self-awareness, and self-love. I'll also link in the show notes the episode where I talk about those 4 principles and pillars in our company and what we do. So again, if you want to print out this review, you can download it for free, and we will have it linked for you at besttodayguide.com/43, which are the show notes for this specific episode. And so the review that I've created for you, let me just say this for those of you listening beyond the beginning or ending of a new year. You can use this in March to look over January to March. You can use this in March to look over last March to this March. You can use this at any time of the year. Okay. This is the timing of this episode is at the end of the year, but you can use this at any time. Okay. I don't teach anything that is time specific. Okay. We're just in real life at the end of a year. And that's why I have that. Okay. So just want to put that out there. So this review is broken up into 6 sections: health, time, routine. Oh, skipped one. Let me try that again. This is broken down into 6 sections: health, behaviors, time, routine, planning, and you. And what the purpose of this download is that I've created for you is to give you a place to reflect on, while it's still, fresh in your mind, and you can look back not just in the year, you can say in the last quarter, in the last month, in the last week, whatever you want. But we're going to look at those 6 places and really use the information that we get to help us make plans about, okay, now what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do with the things that I like? What am I going to do about the things that I don't like? What am I going to do about the things that I need some help with, that I want to be better at, that I want to change, that I want to stop? All those things, what are you going to do about it? And then you're going to take this as information to develop a game plan for yourself. And I will say this is an excellent thing to bring to our open call, this information. If you're still listening to this in real time, we have an open call on January 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can get your link to that. It's absolutely free, $0 at besttodayguide.com/open call. It is my gift to you to help you right where you are. And if you're listening to this episode beyond January 5th, you can always go to besttodayguide.com, and there is a way to get the help from us that you need. That's what we're in the business of. We do this 365, 24/7. Somewhere on our website, you can find the help that you need. So, but if you are listening in real time, make sure you make plans to join us for that open call. So now let's talk about the review. Like I mentioned, it's broken into six parts. The first part is health. Here, I'm going to just ask you to think about what are the things that you did in this year, month, whatever time frame you're going to be thinking about that are really great for your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. What were those things that you did that really helped you mentally and helped you emotionally and helped you physically? They helped your body to be able to perform at its best. They helped you really handle the stressors of life, of which they're stressors of life no matter what phase or season of life you're in. They just may look different, but what are those things that worked really well for you that helped you to build fortitude for those areas of your health? And financial health would be another great one in there as well. What did you do for your financial health? At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. Today, we have a message for Laura, who's talking about the Best Today Guide and how it has been a fantastic new piece of the puzzle of her life. Laura writes, "Amazing! It helped complete the puzzle I'd been working so hard to complete all year. I had so many of the pieces. I just didn't have anything to help them come together. The Best Today Guide has helped me to live more intentionally and be more clear on my vision for the future, which helps me set goals for the present." Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing that with us. I am so happy to be that missing piece of your puzzle. Now you have found it. And I really love how she says she had all these different components together, but the Best Today Guide helped everything to come together. It's like that beautiful glue. It's like, I want to be healthy. I know I want to enjoy my life. I know I want to be present in the day. You know these things, but you're like, how do I put all of that together and have that one place to focus? Ladies and ladies, let me introduce you to the Best Today Guide. It is exactly what that does, among many things. So if you have not visited besttodayguide.com to learn more about the Best Today Guide, today's the day to do that. While you're listening right now on that phone, on the computer, type in besttodayguide.com. And I want you to look at the reviews for the Best Today Guide. Look at our product. We have videos to show you inside. But most importantly, we also have a fantastic quiz, which you can also access at besttodayguide.com/quiz. And it will tell you what your first product should be or next product should be. So answer that and we will tell you what is custom fit and hand selected for you. Get started today so you can bring those pieces of your puzzle together so beautifully, as Laura said. Again, you can get all the information and everything you need and place your first order or next order today by going to besttodayguide.com. So that is the first section. I want you to really start thinking through while you're listening to me talk before you even download this. What are those things that you did that were great? And the reason I ask that is because I want you to identify that you've come a long way. You've done things that have worked. And it's easy to just focus on all the things that haven't, but I want you to remember there are things that have, so you can remember to continue to do those and continue to perfect those and make those better and make them more applicable for your life and allow them to evolve and change as you evolve and change. But the first thing is, we have a big emphasis here on your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your physical health, really making sure you're taking care of that. So what are the things that you did that were great for your mental, emotional, physical health? I didn't add financial health, but maybe by the time you hear this, I'll go back and add financial health. If I didn't, write that one too. I think that's another great one just to think about. Okay. The second part are behaviors. We talk about this just like we talk about health in the Best Today Guide every single day. We talk about behaviors every single day as well in the morning practice with the Best Today Guide. What are the habits and the patterns and the behaviors that you are exemplifying that you want to continue? What are those things? What are those patterns? What are the behaviors? Are you starting to notice that you quickly check negative thoughts and you immediately found that I've had a habit now of stopping those before they even can make it anywhere? Have you found yourself that you are in the habit now of keeping your word to yourself? You're in the habit of making sure you take the time to insert the thing that matters to you. Move your body every day, drink a certain amount of water to stay hydrated. Whatever it is, what are those behaviors or habits that you want to continue doing? And then what are those habits, patterns, and behaviors that you will let go? Not even want to, that you're going to let go. Identify those things. And then we're going to move into time. What is your current relationship with time? How can it be best described? What does that relationship look like between you and time? Is there just never enough of it? Do you always feel busy? Do you feel like you're very consistently getting better and better at allowing your time to reflect your values? You're being more proactive. You're more intentional. You're less stressed. You're going to bed on time. You're waking up energized. What does that look like? What does your relationship with time look like? I want you to write that down. And again, all of this is in the download for free, which you can get at besttodayguide.com/43. We'll have it linked there. What do you need to do to improve your relationship with time? And then what are the 3 most important things that you want to give your time? And keep in mind the season of life that you're in as you're answering these things. And then 1 action step I'm taking to be more proactive and intentional with my time. So those are the 4 under time: your current relationship with time, how you want to improve your relationship with time, the 3 most important things that you want to give your time, and 1 action step you're going to take to be more proactive and intentional with your time. And then we move to routine. What are the routines that you have in place that you want to continue? So what are those great routines that are working well for you? For me, that looks like our laundry routine is working really well. I've shared that on our YouTube channel, where I do 1 load Monday through Friday, and it takes me 15 minutes tops for everything. That's taking things to the wash, put them in the dryer, and folding them. So 15 minutes or less for 5 days means my weekends are completely laundry free. And that's worked really, really well since I implemented that. And I really love it. And I can tell the impact it has when something happens and I get behind one day. I don't like that feeling. So I know this is something I'm not going to get behind. And it's quick. It's so quick and short. And that's one that I know when I fill this out, it's definitely going to go on there. One that I want to continue. My morning routine, my evening routine, those are 2 that are definitely staying on there. So what are those routines that you want to continue? And remember, at any time, if you ever need help with creating routines that work for you, I teach you my taco method that works, y'all. It works. You can go to rightnowroutine.com to learn more about that. And we'll link to that in the show notes as well. That's our program that is a video training with a workbook that teaches you how to develop your routines. What are the routines that you need to create? And if you don't know how to decide what that is, again, I also teach that in Right Now Routine, but just think about it. Where are the places where you know I need to create some type of routine? Again, bring those questions that you have to our open call if you're listening to this in real time. If you're not listening to this in real time, you can always join our membership as well, which you can learn more about at besttodaycommunity.com. We'll link to that in the show notes as well. The show notes are always a wealth of information because anything I reference in the episode, we put there for you. Okay, the next part, we've gone through health, behaviors, time, and routine, is planning. Are you previewing your week every week before the week begins? Are you planning every day, the day or night before? Are you creating a morning routine or plan before the day begins? Are you creating an evening routine so you know how you're going to close out your night before the day begins? Are you limiting what you do each day to what is necessary, important, and matters to you? If it doesn't follow one of those 3 categories, share with me what that is. That's really important because maybe, you're like, oh, well, I hate my job, but guess what? It's important because you need your job for money to live so that you can live another day to make a plan for when you may not do that job, right? So that's another question under the planning section. What help do you need with planning? I want you to think through that. What help do you need with planning? And what are you planning consistently that's working well for you? We want to continue to emphasize the things you're already doing that are working well for you because we want to keep those up. That's why I keep asking you those questions about what's working well. And then the last section, because we saved the best for last, is you. YOU. We are a company that centers you, who you are, what you want, and making sure that you are loving yourself just as you are, because we are all works in progress and masterpieces at the same time. And as Jess Sim says over at Peloton. So are you clear on what you want? Are you clear on who you are and who you want to become? Are you speaking encouragement and truth to yourself daily? Daily, daily, daily. It's important. There's a reason why the word today is in our company name. It's the things that we do in our todays really matter, and speaking encouragement and truth to yourself. Even if you're like, well, I don't really need it today, build that reservoir up, because there's going to be a day where it's so hard to find the encouragement. But if you've made it a habit of speaking that encouragement to yourself, it's going to be a thing that you're going to do even when it's really hard. And you'll also have this extra reservoir built up for the days where it's hard to draw from, right? I mean, where if you feel like you actually have something to draw from, that's what I'm saying, because you've filled it up so much. So please make that a real habit, speaking encouragement and truth to yourself daily. And we help you to do that with so many of our encouragement tools and resources and products, whether it's a sticker that just reminds you that you are worthy, or one today at a time, or to keep going, or one of our writing pens that tells you to keep going. You know, we make sure to create products that encourage you on the journey and surround you with that encouragement. I'm looking down on my phone right now where I see my keep going sticker. And then on my other phone, I have my I am worthy, and I'm looking at those. And those are those constant reminders. My pen, one today at a time right now. That's my pen. Can you hear me clicking it? But yeah, keeping those constant reminders around yourself is so vital. It is not just to have some cute thing decorating something. We don't create useless things to clutter your home and life and space that will work against what we do. So everything that I create is made with intention. So these encouragement products, I want to make sure you are getting them and utilizing them so that you are always found yourself bombarded with encouragement. I'm okay with if everywhere you look, you see that reminder that you are worthy and to keep going. And one today at a time, we can do this, right? So just that side note spiel on that encouragement, because it's so important. It's so important. I think it's underestimated how important it is to speak encouragement and truth to yourself every single day, really multiple times throughout the day. How can you practice self-love more consistently? Create an action. Then I tell you, create one action step to begin to apply what you wrote above. So whatever it is that you say, what you can do to practice self-love more consistently, what's one action step you can take? And maybe that action step is, I'm going to speak encouragement to myself 3 times a day. Every time you go to eat a meal, before I eat my meal, I'm going to remind myself, you've got this. You can do this. You are capable. You are worthy. You are loved. Girl, do you know who you is? Do you know who you are? Do you know you the bomb? And a bag of chips and guac and queso. Okay. So what's important to you in this season? It's so important to recognize that every season comes with limitations and freedoms, and to appreciate them both. So what's important to you in this season, and how will you prioritize it? Even if it's in a small way. I think when I say prioritize something, people think that means, is that a word? I was going to say aggrandize. Is that a word? Make it bigger. Let's just, they think, oh, it has to get all my time. No, prioritizing means exactly what that is. It's ensuring that you have given it a place so it gets the attention that it needs. So prioritizing something could be even in a small way, where you're saying, for 5 minutes every day, I'm going to make sure I insert the thing. It was 5 minutes, but the consistency is what I think makes it the priority, not the quantity given at one time. Because you can do something for 2 hours one day and never do it again. And that doesn't make it a priority because you gave it that 2 hours or 10 hours. But that didn't make it a priority, maybe in that day, in that time. But really, if you say every single day, I'm going to take 15 minutes out to meditate, to write, to journal, to take time for myself, that to me is a priority, because you have consistently put that has now become a part of your life. Something I did that one time isn't a part of my life, but the thing I consistently do, that's a part of that's going to become woven into my DNA. Okay. For better or worse. So that's my little off the notes for how you prioritize the thing that's important to you in this season, even if it's in a small way. I think the consistency is so substantive that even if you do something consistently for a few minutes, it's going to add up more than doing something that one time. Okay. And then the last question is, how can we at Best Today be a help to you as it relates to anything that we talked about in that check-in with yourself, this year-end review, when it comes to planning, routine, your time, your health, your behaviors? How can we be a help to you? And I want you to let me know the answer to that question. And there's so many ways that you can do that. Number one, if you're listening in real time, bring that to the open call. That's what it's created for. I came up with this idea to do an open call that was completely free and open to any human on the planet to come and ask your questions and to help and to hear me teach these principles that so many of you, likely you listening, you've heard me say over and over again, and you're living them out. But there are other people. Don't be so selfish to say, I've gotten what I need and that's where the buck stops. If you do, you're not allowing the work that I'm doing to do what I created it to do. And it is to go to you and then beyond you, right? I need it to go to, don't just you get help and then you hoard the help. It's enough Best Today to go around to everyone who needs and wants it, okay? So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor, tell your coworkers. I know so many of you are doing that already. You're telling them, hey, you need to get the Best Today guide. Hey, you need to get the Today's One Thing. Hey, you need to get the weekly preview. Hey, let me show you how to do this. Thank you. Here's a way to let me now do the talking and I can help them and teach them and answer their questions right there in real time. It is a Zoom call. So it's going to be like right there. I can help in real time. And that's what I created for, because I wanted to reach those people who have not yet been introduced to what we do, or who've only heard about it through the grapevine and haven't come and actually gotten the help that they need. Okay. So that is what I have for you, the open call. So that's one way. Number two, our membership, the Best Today membership community. You can come in and we can be a help to you. 3, email us anytime, besttoday@shantaegrant.com. Email us. We have a contact form on our website at besttodayguide.com. We are here to help you. We will respond within the time frame in which is explained in our emails, but we will respond to you. We respond to every single customer email without fail. Okay. So thank you so much for listening through that. And I want you to, don't forget to go download now this document that I've created for you that's going to let you walk through everything that I just walked through. Again, you can use this, print it out and say, I'm going to do this, check in with myself maybe once a month, once a quarter, and make this a practice. It's absolutely free for you to download. It's there. It's my gift to you. I hope that you understand that at the root of all that I do, it's to help you. We have a company that sells these resources that help you, right? But the drive for even creating those resources is to help you. Okay. So take the help that is being given. Please, here, this is me pouring out my hands, pouring it over to you. Now open up your hands and receive it. Okay. You can get the download link by going to besttodayguide.com/43. Thank you so much for being present with me for this week's episode, especially if you're listening in real time, because this is holiday time around the globe. But thank you for being present with me for this week's episode of the Best Today podcast. Until next time, remember that you are capable and worthy of being your best one today at a time. And you have everything you need to have everything you want. So go on and shout it out as you live it out. This is what my best today looks like. I'll talk to you on the next episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.